you guys to our Monday Night Live. I am so excited. I'm Jennifer Harmon, and I am so excited for this call tonight because I have my dear friend, Kari Hafeli. Hafeli? I said that right? Okay,
Mhm.
that's what I thought. And you guys are going to love hearing from her. Every time I see Kari, she makes me smile. She's so much fun, full of energy, bubbly personality. She loves the Lord, loves her kids. I just can't wait to hear from you, Kari. So, um, what really prompted me to, get in touch with you, I know we've chatted a little bit about like we're stay-at-home moms. We specifically us, we homeschool. Not everybody does, but we homeschool, and we have some working moms on the call who work full-time job and their kids go to school. But it's like, how do we steward all these things well? Like, how do we avoid getting so frustrated in business, right? Because we're not setting healthy boundaries, or we're just feel like we're working all the time, right? I feel like there can be ditches on both sides of the road. And so I think for all of us as moms and ministry wives and all the different things, we have to be aware of both sides of the road. And do our best to find that balance. And so I feel like your journey as of late, right? I feel like maybe you've had a shift in the last bit. Okay. So talk to us about that. Tell us a little bit about your journey, like your story, how you got started, and then just take it away. I'm excited.
Okay, sounds good. Well, thank you for asking me to be on. This is something that I'm very passionate about, only because I have journeyed with it. I don't really know you guys. So my name is Kari Hafeli. I'm an Emerald Ambassador. I've been with Plexus. I've been working the business since 2016. And my story has not been one that's like here and like straight trajectory up. It's been very much like this. At one point, I lost 1,000 points, so I re-ranked to Emerald, not re-ranked, double ranked to Emerald. So my journey was like and then 2020 came and people disappeared. And so I have had a journey of, Lord, I know that you have this opportunity for me. I know it. Like, it's not just me pushing through. Like, I have questioned, I have prayed, I have my husband agrees. Like, this opportunity is for us. And yet it has been a journey. And it has not been straight up. I've prayed for it. I've asked for the Lord's favor on my business. I do, and I continue to do that. But this is what I know: the Lord will shatter your dreams in order to bring you to his ultimate purpose. And that is the eternal mindset that we need to have in everything that we do, including business. It's the ultimate. It's we have to lay our plans aside and know that the Lord is working in us and through us, and it's for his glory. And we should, and I'm going to get into this, but we should work with excellence. We absolutely should work with excellence. But just know that we hold everything with open hands. Like, this business, my children, my marriage, my everything that I have that I value is with open hands. The Lord has it. And I feel like oftentimes we will pray and be like, Lord, I'm really asking you for this. And then you wait and you feel disappointed and you feel like you're unanswered and you feel like you're unheard. And then you start to doubt, should I even be here? Am I even good at this? I mean, am I distracted from other more important work? And we get in our brains and we start to, consider other things rather than knowing what is true, which the Lord has this for me right now in this season. He does. Okay, so I'm already getting ahead of myself here, but I just want to say, first of all, I want to start with this verse. And you guys, if you are not a Christian, I'm just going to tell you, like, that's what I'm talking about tonight. So I'm not offended if you hop off by any means, but that's just what I'm talking about tonight, because that is my story. Okay. So Colossians 3:23 and 24, whatever you do, work heartily as for the Lord and not for men, knowing that from the Lord you will receive the inheritance of your reward. You are serving the Lord Christ. Okay. So with that in mind, let's get into this. Okay. So I think that, where's my other page of notes? I think that we need to work with excellence. And what does excellence mean? Well, to me, and I shared a little bit of this with Jen at a different time, but to me, Excellence is, I literally don't know. Oh, here it is. I'm staring at it. Excellence is being, okay, you're different than basic. Okay. First of all, you're different than basic. Okay. And that's like very basic thing to say. But that word excellence means that there's like an investment of time. There's an investment of energy. You're developing skill. It requires intention, energy, systems. It requires things from you. If you are excellent at something, it's not passive. You don't just wake up and be excellent. There's energy and effort involved. Your commitment level has to be high to meet that standard of excellence. If your commitment level is wavering, is this for me, Lord? Do I have this? Am I distracted? All those, doubts that come in, your commitment level cannot be high while you're also being passive in your work, being stuck in your thoughts and not actually working. If you're stuck in your thoughts, you're not working with excellence unless you're working heartily with your hands. It cannot be both. Okay. And I'm not saying you don't have seasons of, I got to figure this out. I have to, recommit. Like you can, that's normal. You're human. But in order to be excellent, your commitment level, therefore your work, has to be high level. And so I guess I would just ask you, is your commitment level up to the excellent level, or is it lower? And only you can know that. Okay, so that is what excellence is. That is my goal, to work with excellence in, homeschooling my 4 kids, homemaking, working my business. It's, when you're a Christian, it's not like, oh, I seek to honor the Lord in every area except this one. This one I have control of. This is the one where I say, oh, I show up today or not. It's why? Why do we do that? If the Lord has it for you, why are you kicking and screaming? Because he has what's best for you. If you believe that, then show up for this opportunity because you're working as unto the Lord. And I feel like I hear a lot of, and have done a lot of, oh, I'm too busy doing more important work. And is this the most important work? It's not the most important work, right? Like I have a family, I have like eternal things. However, this is work that the Lord has given me. And so I should show up for it. Okay. So like I put it into like homemaking. Like, is vacuuming the floor as important as making meals for my family? No, of course it's not. But I still need to vacuum the floor. Like I still need to take care of my floor, like you still have to show up for it. Just because it's not the most important thing, well, of course it's not. But we do a lot of things every single day that aren't the most important thing. That is an excuse. It sounds great, sounds spiritual, right? Like I have this thing over here that's much more important. However, if the Lord brought you to this work, then he has something he wants to do with it. And we need to show up for it. Oh, that hurts, you guys. That hurts. But it's true. He has a purpose here. And if I am seeking to honor him in everything that I'm doing, I need to show up for my work. And I will share with you, and I hope it's the same for you. There have been many times that I've been able to share the gospel with people because of this work. Like he's furthering his kingdom because I'm obeying. And that puts a fire under my booty. He's doing something here that's bigger than me. I can't understand it. I can't understand. This just seems like, oh, a blessing to my family, but what does it mean eternally? Well, I don't have to understand it. I just have to show up for it. That's what he's asked of me. He's not asked me to understand the eternal purposes of me showing up to share gut health supplements and a Plexus business. He hasn't asked me to understand all of it. He's asked me to show up and to steward it. Okay. And not stewarding it well means that you're not being intentional with it, right? Like you're not being intentional to like, I'm doing this, this, and this. This is my commitment level. I'm going to show up to this. But if your commitment level is low, you're not stewarding it well. And that is something you need to ask yourself. So this is something else that I've kind of observed in Plexus is some people are very much lean on their commitment and discipline, and other people very much lean on their emotion as far as if they're going to show up or not, do their work or not. And emotion carries us here and there. Like everywhere. We know that. We know that. Do we know that? Like we know that. Emotion will carry us here and there. I feel like it today. I don't feel like it today. I feel like having the conversations today. I don't today. Like, okay, that is, you're wasting your time. We have to just knock that off because it's not being a good steward of your time. It's wasting the time. And really that is dishonoring to the Lord. So get your emotions in check and then rely on commitment and discipline. Does the Lord have this for me? Yes, he does. I'm going to be committed to it. Okay. Because that's what holds you steady on the hard days, on the times when you lose 1,000 points. It's my commitment level. Same as, in a marriage. It's the commitment level that is what holds you there. It's not always, roses all the time, but it's your commitment level. I stay because. What's your because? Okay. So let me look at my notes for a second. Okay. Drown out the noise of doubt with a strong conviction that the Lord can use you here. Like the Lord can use you right here in this place. You don't have to like get off social media so that, you can go somewhere else and work. No, social media is where people is or where people are. Like you can show up and the Lord can use you right here. And if you have a social media, that's exactly what he wants to do with you. You have to walk out your values, which if you're a Christian is to honor the Lord, bring glory to the Lord in every area of your life and your relationships. And you have to walk that out. You can't be, 1 foot in, 1 foot out, lukewarm all the time with this particular thing that we have to be talking about, which is business all the time. You have to walk out your values, which is I'm going to glorify God with this. I'm going to show up with excellence. My commitment level is going to be such that I shine the light of Jesus in my conversations. And people see it. People around me, they see it. They see that I'm working with excellence. That's different than self-promoting and, all these things that we get into our heads about, which, can teeter on sin sometimes, it's not that. It's showing up for your work, and loving God with your heart, soul, and mind. Your mind. That is not emotion driven. That's a decision. That is commitment. And you should work unto him as unto him. We all should in every area of our life. Just go and shine the light of Jesus. So I guess I would ask you, where in your business are you compromising? Just think about that. Come up with your answer. Maybe you need to meditate on it for a little bit, but where are you compromising? Maybe you know right away. Where are you not keeping your commitment level super high? And I believe that all of our work here has eternal purpose, like I've already talked about. And so this is important. Like your business is not something that's just like flippant in your life. It's not, it's serious. And while we have a lot of fun, we still need to take it seriously because the Lord has it in our laps. So, okay, this is the other thing. If you're married, ask your husband and press him for answers. You got to be strong, but ask him for answers. And these are the questions that I think would be good to ask. Okay. Do you want me to bring in an income? Would this bless our family? What are my blind spots in this business? What am I doing well? What can I improve? Will you help me by holding me accountable? Am I being lazy? But you have to be strong, okay? Like you have to give him full permission to answer you honestly, okay? He is the person probably that knows you the best, that sees you when you're not on the screen. Like people on the screen, they only see like what you allow them to see. But somebody that lives with you has a different perspective. This is something else that makes it a lot easier to show up for your business. Start talking to people about the business that share your values. Find like-minded women, because I promise you, it is not hard to feel like you're making an impact if you're working with like-minded women, because there's power in numbers. It feels like I have Jen Rickard on here, and we have other teammates that we work closely with, and it's like it feels like we are shoulder to shoulder like this. We're arm in arm, like a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader, and we are just walking into the world talking about this, but with an eternal mindset, with the intention of making an impact for the Lord. And so if you find people to do that with, then I promise you, it makes the whole thing easier. I've done both. I've done it with people that aren't, and I've done it with people that are. And it is a lot easier. So go and intentionally find people that are like-minded and you will have a ministry there. You'll have a ministry team is what that is. And it's super, super awesome. Another part of that, of having like-minded people, is that you will encourage each other on for excellence. Every morning we have a morning huddle where we start in prayer and share our business intentions. And we just encourage each other, edify one another for the sake of the gospel. Yes, we're talking about Plexus, but we have a bigger picture in mind. So, last question that I'll leave you with is, are you willing to grow in holiness by being faithful in your business? Or is that just a no for you? You have to be honest with your answer. But you will. This is a very sanctifying work. You have to die to yourself, let go of your expectations and work unto the Lord. Like really, really know your why. So I don't know if I got through all my notes, but that's what I have.
Oh my word. That was so good. So good. Okay. So can I kind of put you on the spot with some of this? Okay.
Yes.
Um, so you lost 1,000 points, right? Talk to us about like your thoughts during that. Were you like, I'm just gonna quit? Is this for me? Should I
Mhm.
even do this? Like, what did that look like in that moment? And then getting back where you did that.
Yes. So there was a lot of imposter syndrome, a lot of feeling like um, I have more important work to do. Like I have these souls to raise. Like I need to, like a lot of
Yeah.
fear that was hiding behind all of these excuses. And actually, I remember very specifically. So if you guys know Jen, then you probably know one of her besties, Clarita. And I remember saying, I want to do what Clarita does, which is just like show up on Instagram and like post pretty things, but not like be in your face. Not like I do. And okay, my business is not Clarita's, like our businesses are not the same. Our teams are not the same. I have not sponsored the same. So that really, it was just an excuse that really was just hiding behind fear of what I knew I needed to do, which was to build a new team. I mean, when people say that they have personal development and like mindset issues, like you don't get over that overnight.
Right.
It's a lot to work through. It's a lot to work through, but the key is you have to be in action as you're working through it. The commitment level still has to be high, or else you're just tanking your business more. And really, action is the only thing that pulls you back out. It's the only thing that builds your belief again. Oh, I still can sponsor somebody new. Oh, I still can get somebody to gold. Oh, I still can get somebody to ruby. But you'll never figure any of that out if you're not in action. So you have to your commitment level has to be high while you're figuring some things out in your mind.
So your activity during that time remained,
Mhm.
and I mean, it was just the same stuff that we know to do, right? I mean, I feel like we're always looking for the magic thing to do,
Mhm.
and it's really not. I mean, it's just the same, right? Social media, reaching. I mean, like, what does your process look like? Is it very different?
Absolutely. No, it is the same. It's literally the same. Passing on your passion and belief to other people.
Mhm.
And Jen knows this. I ask the same questions all the time. I asked them in, when I was going Emerald, I ask them now, is one of two questions. Do you have any reason to look into gut health supplements? And do you have any reason to look into an at-home business? That's how I build my business.
Mhm.
I just ask those questions over and over and over.
Mhm.
And I find the people that say yes. Eventually, people say yes. There are people looking for what we have. More people than ever are looking for what we have.
Yeah.
And from there, it's all about the passion and belief. Like, yes, showing up. Yes, showing up in stories. Yes, making your offers. Yes, leading out front. But it's those questions. If you avoid those questions, you won't build. You
Mhm.
have to get to the yes or the no. My process is really the same. And when I was going through the mental junk, I tried to distract myself from feeling like kind of like a loser over here, like, oh, I'm losing all these people, all these points. And I did things that I knew I was good at. Like, let me create like social media brands. Let me help people with their colors. Let me help people with all of this stuff. And it was great. I mean, people were asking me all the time, when are you going diamond? You should be going diamond anytime now. People still tell me they think I'm a diamond. And I'm like, girl, no, I'm not. I'm still working. But I presented myself in a way that looked successful. And so anyway, what come to find out, it took me a while to get through, is all of that was distraction. And it kept me in the place of imposter syndrome. It all kept me in the place that I really hated to be. And when I got back into action, that's when numbers started to grow and I started to believe again that I can do this. With the Lord's help, I can do this. I can build this business back up. And really it's not an exciting thing. Like it's you'll if you need something new all the time, you're going to get bored because we're asking the same questions all the time, looking for the people that, need the products or need the business. That's what we do. It's not it's not crazy.
Yeah.
It's very simple. It's hard, but it's simple.
So tell us about today, like right now, what do you have a set time that you work your business? What does that look like? You've had some boundaries, like okay, this is what we're gonna do. So what does that kind of look like for you?
Mhm. So I show up in the morning, like I said, for the morning huddle. And even before we were doing the morning huddle, I would show up in the morning, check messages, get into chats, and then I homeschool my kids in the morning. And then ideally, if I'm being super careful with my time, then I work in the afternoon.
Hmm.
I have all afternoon before my husband gets home, after we're done with school. That is when I can work. And that's when I do my best work, when I sit down and I can have a couple hours. And you know what? I have quality time with my kids all day or, in the evening. And I have quality time with my husband. And so I don't feel bad for pulling away for a couple hours to work my business, which I know blesses my family and that my husband has asked me to do. I don't feel bad for it at all. I used to, like, oh, I have other things that I could be doing, but I don't because this is a way to bless my family.
Hmm.
So yes, so in the afternoon, and honestly, time blocking is the way. It is the way. And I'm a spontaneous person. I like to just be like, hey, want to meet at the park? Let's go meet at the park. You want to go shopping? Let's go shopping. Like I love that. And so I definitely do make time for that in my day. But on a normal day, I am working in the afternoon. Um, and it moves the needle in my business every single day.
I love that. This is so good. So good. Okay. Does anybody have questions that they want to ask Kari? You can ask them or drop them in the chat. Um, Anybody have anything? Any burning questions? You've covered a lot of stuff. Good stuff. Like I'm gonna go back and watch the recording
Oh, I'm glad.
and I'm not taking notes, but I'm going to take notes because this is
I
good.
don't know if y'all can hear me. I'm outside, but I guess my question would be if you had to rebuild mostly an entire new team, did you pursue different types of people than you did the first time around as far as leaders?
A great question. And yes, absolutely. The first time around, I would take anybody and everybody. It didn't matter. I mean, if you could breathe, you were going to be on my Plexus team. Like, I just was like, it did not matter. Like, if you were alive, I wanted you on my team. And honestly, that is unhelpful. It's unhelpful because I'm not the best leader for everyone. And so I have really been intentional with who I reach out to about the business. I'm constantly networking on Instagram, constantly finding people that are like-minded. And yes, I will not mentor just anyone. If they don't have emotional maturity, number one, then I just don't have it in my day to mentor that. I
Mhm.
will love them where they're at. I will share the gospel with them, but emotional maturity has to be there. For sure. Positivity has to be there. I can't let people be stealing, any joy that I have when I have so many other people to pour it into. I'm definitely more picky because I know what it means to have good leaders. And I know what it means to not have good leaders. Like it's exhausting to have to pull people. I need people that are already driven, that want this for themselves and don't just show up for the monthly prize. The monthly
Mhm.
prizes are great. Don't get me wrong, but that's very short-term motivation. I need people that see this business like long-term. They want it for their own reasons, for their own family, and they're going to show up for it. Those are the people that I'm looking for. High quality.
That is so good. Um, okay, so Instagram, what does that look like over there? Like, do you have a huge following? Do you like make reels every day? Is that where some of your new leaders have come from? Or Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So Instagram definitely. I had to laugh when you said, "Do I make reels?" Because I was doing this 30-day reel challenge, and I think by the end of it, I lost 10 followers. Okay, I was like, oh, okay, this doesn't work for me. No. So during 2020, when I was rebuilding, I really was trying to grow my Instagram. I was, doing all these giveaways. Like I was learning. I was taking courses and classes, and it is a different world that I don't want. And so actually I deleted all the people that started following me from there. And I just was like, no, I'm going to relationship build. I don't want just anybody and everybody. I want to relationship build. And so that's what I do on Instagram. I'm not just like, oh, follow you. Let's talk, let's talk. No, I don't have the capacity for that. I want to know people. And so I'm not stuck in relationship building mode for very long before I find out if they want the business, but I want to know who I'm talking to. I don't want a customer based business where I have lots and lots of, people buying the products, but then it doesn't go anywhere. So I don't have a huge following. But on Instagram, I intentionally network. So one thing that I do, I can pass on this tip is I find churches that are in the same denomination or like denomination of mine in different cities. And I go and look at their Instagram, and then I go and see who likes their posts. And if they have a circle around their profile, meaning that they have stories,
Yeah.
I go and look at their profile. And if their profile is something that I want, which is they're active, they're positive, they appear to have, emotional maturity, which means they're not posting a lot of like junky stuff, then I'll give them a follow and try to network with them. So that's something I've done for years, and it really does work. It really does work. So I'll do that. I'll do, different accounts that I agree with. I'll go and see who is liking their posts and try to network with those people with the same criteria. Do they have stories? Are they active? Are they positive? And just try to find people that are compatible with me.
I love that. That is so smart. That is so smart. And you've got a new team of people, and you've been on the leaderboard several times in the last several months. Like, so your team is rocking and rolling and doing the things.
They are. They are. They're doing the things. They're doing the things. They're showing up for themselves, and I'm so stinking proud of them.
Yeah.
And yes, yeah, things are moving and grooving. All of the grace of God. It's all grace. It's all the grace of God. So, yeah, we've had some valleys, and Lord willing, we are going a different direction. So we'll see.
That's amazing. Good. Does anybody have any last questions? This has been so good. Seriously, I feel like just what I know I needed. Hopefully, some of you have gotten some goodness from it. I can see your head shaking, and Jennifer in the chat said, "This is so good. Thank you for sharing." Any last questions before we jump off? Speak now or forever hold your peace. Well, good deal. Well, thank you, friend. This has been amazing, so inspiring and encouraging, because this business can plays tricks with your brain. And and it's you're just like, I don't know. And then we have those valleys and those hills. And I feel like a lot of times we have more valleys than hills because of our mindsets and thought process. And like you were saying earlier, is this the most important thing? And so it's easy for us to just kind of push it off to the side or whatever. Yeah. So much of what you said is just so true. So all of what you said is true. Anyway, I was just meant much of what you said.
Or did you disagree with, Jen? Tell me now.
Resonated with so much of what you said. Like you were speaking directly to me.
No, I was speaking directly to myself. I was seriously convicted as I was, making this talk. So anyway, yeah, just the Lord be glorified in all that we say, do, whatever we're up to. So thank you for asking me. I appreciate it.
All right. Well, good. Thank you guys for jumping on. I pray that you guys will be blessed from this, and we'll have the recording hopefully up in just a little bit. And Kari, if you want it, I'll send it to you too. I'll convert it over and pop it up on YouTube, and then we can have the link. So, all right. Thank you guys. All right. We'll see you next time. Bye.